For most CPA firms, tax season feels like this annual storm of stress and impossible deadlines. But what if it didn't have to be that way? A growing number of firms are actually turning that chaos into a chance to grow. So today, we're going to break down how a smarter way of working, offshore tax preparation, is making all of that possible.
I mean, does this question hit a little too close to home? That feeling of just being completely overwhelmed as the returns pile up higher and higher? If you're nodding your head right now, well, you're in exactly the right place.
This is the reality for so many talented professionals, isn't it? The late nights, the constant pressure from deadlines, and that just incredible surge of returns. The real work, actually serving your clients, it gets buried under this mountain of compliance stuff. It's a cycle that just leads straight to burnout. Let's call it what it is, tax season's annual race. It's this frantic sprint that honestly feels like it gets harder and harder to win every single year. And this quote, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the problem. On one hand, you've got way more work to do, and on the other, there are fewer and fewer skilled people to actually do it. This isn't just a feeling, it's a major shift in the industry that's putting a ton of strain on firms of all sizes. And that strain we were just talking about, it's only getting worse. Which brings us right to our next point, the growing pressure. I mean, just look at these factors. Any one of these would be a challenge, but when you put them all together, it's a perfect storm. Tax laws get more complicated, clients expect things done yesterday, and you can't find the talent you need. All while your costs are going up to deal with these crazy seasonal spikes. It's just not sustainable. So it's pretty clear the old way of just grinding through it isn't cutting it anymore. And that's exactly why so many firms are looking for a smarter operational model. It's all about working differently, not just harder. And here it is. The key phrase I want you to focus on is an extension of your firm. See, this isn't just about outsourcing tasks. It's about integrating skilled professionals who are trained in U.S. tax law directly into your workflow. They become part of your team, handling that high-volume prep work. And let's be clear, we're talking about way more than just basic data entry. These teams handle the core, heavy-lifting compliance work, everything from individual 1040s to the really complex corporate and partnership returns. They can manage that whole prep process right up to the point where your team does its final review. Okay, so that's the what and the how, but the most powerful part of this whole thing is the why. So let's dive into the key benefits that this model can bring to your firm. And this right here, this shows the incredible transformation. Your team goes from being reactive, just trying to keep their heads above water, to being proactive. Instead of being buried in compliance paperwork, they're free to focus on what actually grows the business. Strategic advice, building real client relationships. This is how a firm really evolves. The impact on your operations is just as amazing. Your firm's capacity to handle returns, it skyrockets. Your turnaround times, they drop like a rock. And your costs, they go down too. All of a sudden, you can do more work faster and much more profitably. It's a total game changer. And here's one of the secrets to that speed. It's the 24-hour workflow. Because you're leveraging different time zones, the work literally continues while you sleep. You can send documents over at the end of your day and boom, a prepared return is often sitting in your inbox waiting for review the next morning. That is a massive competitive advantage. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Okay, this all sounds great, but is it a huge pain to set up? Good question. Let's pull back the curtain and demystify the process and look at how it actually works. It really is this straightforward. The first 3 steps are handled seamlessly between your firm and the offshore team. But, and this is so important, look at those last 2 steps. Your team, your people, always do the final internal review and handle the filing. You keep complete quality control, and you always own that client relationship. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is always the #1 question, and for a very good reason. We're talking about incredibly sensitive client data. So let's tackle security head on. Any reputable partner in this space makes security their absolute top priority. We're talking about serious, multi-layered protection. That means everything is encrypted, documents are stored securely, access is tightly controlled, and there are strict, legally binding confidentiality agreements in place. These measures are completely non-negotiable. So, how do you know if this is something your firm should be looking at? Well, take a look at these 5 signs. Just be honest with yourself. If you're nodding along to even 2 or 3 of these, that's a pretty strong signal that your current model is stretched to its breaking point. And that brings us to our final thought. I really want you to think about this question for a minute. What could your firm achieve if tax season wasn't something to just survive, but was actually an opportunity to excel? What new services could you launch? How much could you grow? Because by shifting your operational model, you're not just solving a capacity problem, you're unlocking your firm's entire future.